Hello, so another week, another reading from my book Pieces, 52 Short Stories While Being Human. And this is chapter 32 called Routine. And actually, I still haven't chosen the part I'm gonna read because I feel I've written it so well that it would be best to actually read it all, which would defeat the purpose of these videos because you're meant to read it for yourself, and I'm just helping to explain the background behind the story. But I don't know, it just summarizes it so well. Oh goodness. I suppose I will read the end, but it's not gonna make sense to you if I read just the end. Okay, I'm gonna read one short paragraph, which is about the middle of the chapter, and then we'll have a chat and see what comes out of it. I hate routine. I crave routine. I reject routine. I need routine. Houston, we have a problem. I've tried all sorts: hypnotherapy, NLP, energy healing, reasoning, praying, meditating, talking about it. How long have you got? I still found myself caught up in my own personal dichotomy and constantly repeated cycle of routine and no routine. Health and feeling good, feeling down and ill. This is very exhausting and cuts my productivity as well as enjoyment of life by half. So I think this paragraph kind of summarizes the chapter a little bit of what it's about, of how my whole life I struggled with establishing a routine that would work for me. And then if I did manage and stuck to it for a few days or few weeks, I usually sabotaged it. Whether it comes to the way I eat, exercise, if I studied something, or the way I structure my hobbies or work, discipline around work and stuff. So all this, it's been a bit of a struggle. And I thought that when I become self-employed, that because I will be self-motivated, I'm gonna be doing work I love, that it will become easier, but it didn't. Actually, it was worse because I haven't, no hard deadlines. I was the one who was giving me the deadlines, so I was able to push them back. It wasn't like I had a boss who was like, okay, by now it has to be done. So that made things more challenging. I've always somehow managed, but it didn't feel joyful. It was a struggle. And as I said, I've meditated, I've done lots of different therapies, I've tried different things to make this work, because one of the biggest issues I think was my long held belief that I wasn't capable of holding a routine, that it wasn't in my nature. I was a Gemini that hates routines, and I need flexibility and independence and blah blah blah. The funny thing is that I wasn't actually being all that much spontaneous. That's something I had to work too. It's not like if you don't have a routine, you're spontaneous. That there is that kind of gray area in between, when it's just there. Like you have no structure, but you also don't have any space to be creative and spontaneous and free. And really, where it clicked, where everything changed, was when I was pregnant. That just changed everything. It completely shifted my focus, and it wasn't just about me anymore. And I just knew that I best functioned when I had little of like a scaffolding of a routine, of just something that kind of held my life together, but left plenty of space within it for the creative, independent, flexible, going with the flow me. And I think I figured it out. It's been now, well, I fell pregnant 18 months ago, or so, yeah, actually, quite accurately. And I've really managed to keep, reasonably good routine around my eating, about my exercise, around my learning and working. It's been pretty pretty good, and there is still a lot of flexibility within that. You know, it's not like it's rigid poles, it's more like they rubber and they kind of bend a little bit and flex a little bit when I need them to. So I'm not necessarily doing always the same thing or at the same time, but I suppose over the course of a week things always get done. And you know, it's nice to go to bed knowing that that's cleared, the to-do list is all ticked, and you know, my life kind of flows actually, and it feels good, and it's not rigid, and that feels good too. I don't have any set times to get up or go to bed. You know, we go with, it's very, very baby-led for me. I chose to do it this way because it works for me, and thank God. Ollie doesn't get up very early, and he goes to bed anything between 7 and 9. It's basically when he started. Then we go to sleep, and it really works. He's happy, I'm happy. I don't, you know, when we wake up, I don't have to, like, I have to, like, you know, I wake up, I usually stay in bed a little longer because he's not awake yet. So it feels quite nice. I just kind of slowly come to myself. So when he wakes and he looks up at me with this massive smile on his face, I'm already awake enough to be pleasant and joyful and enjoy his presence instead of being awoken by alarm clock and like, I need another hour to become a human. So, you know, it really works. A kind of bit of a structure, bit of a routine brings freedom actually, because it's something you can lean on to bounce off, you know, and to kind of bounce into the world and have fun. But you also, it's like a safety net, and you can come back into, like a trampoline, you know, like you have fun in the air, but when you fall, you know, you're safe, and you know you can lean on that space that you've created for yourself. Obviously it can go other extreme, you know. No routine is not particularly good, I think, definitely not for me, because then it's all messy. But also having too much routine and being too rigid and not being able to you know, change things, that can be quite painful as well, and not very enjoyable. I think it can be quite stressful if life forces you to change those routines and bend the rules, and you really struggle with that, then it's difficult. So I think if you on either end of this, of absolutely no routine and messy, or too rigid and stressful, I think it'd be a good idea to explore this and perhaps seek some help with whether a coach or a therapist, because life can be so light and enjoyable despite challenges and troubles that come along the ways, because you have enough flexibility to weather it. So yeah, that's basically what this chapter is about. It explains more the kind of in and outs of how I got to things and how I do things. But I do hope that you find it helpful. Have a read. You can get the book on Amazon, either in a digital form or printed. And yeah, let me know what you think. What's, you know, how are you with routines and how you feel about them? Have you perhaps also changed relationship to routines throughout your life, and have you seen the changes? Do let me know.